I suppose with the art world, in fact, it's such a huge commerce issue.
Yeah.
And I think the great thing about music now, you can make music with no money whatsoever. You don't need anyone to represent you. The fact you can just get your music out there online or put it in a shop, be it a cassette or a CD or a vinyl. And
I think that's true. I think that's absolutely true.
And and you don't ever feel like a failed. I think it must be very hard now to feel like I'm a failed musician, in that you can be creative and at least people can experience what you've done. Whereas an artist, if you haven't got a gallery representing you, it's so hard.
But also the investment, on the kind of listener's part is quite small.
As I say, going back to what you said, it's interesting in that some artists, I suppose they could literally fart and they could charge for that, right? Now what you're doing,
I tried that.
but you're an artist whose work, some of it sells for crazy amounts of money, but yet you're doing something which is a vinyl factory release for a 12-inch for £10.
Yeah.
Or an album, and it's quite I just think it's quite interesting that they're two, that probably you don't have the ego, I assume, to assume that every single thing you do has such a high value to it.
I think the problem with art music, or music as art, is it's almost like the art is kind of like the top end of the bracket of the equation, and the music is subordinate to the art.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, my brother makes music as well, and both of us are sort of absolutely adamant that what we do is music.
Obviously, when you approach your art, has many different reasons why you have to do it.
Yeah.
But when you're making these sounds, why did you do it?
Because I was interested. I mean, I've always been interested in unconventional music, and experimental music, and kind of soundtracks. I quite like things that kind of become orphaned.
I was asked to do a remix, and I wasn't quite sure how I'd go about it. I watched the fact interview, and you're talking about the same thing about not wanting to be proficient. Yeah. And I remember when I first started making music, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I just pushed buttons, and things happened. And throughout the past 20 odd years, I've kind of honed my skills to a point where I think I'm proficient, but at the same time, I've definitely lost something in that process. Yeah. So when I did the remix, I actually normally, and don't take it the wrong way, but normally I spend like 2-3 weeks. I probably spent a day and a half doing it. And I got to that point at the end of the day, and I was thinking, normally I'd stop and thinking, no, I've got to do another few versions. Then I listened to it, I thought, actually it sounds good. And I think, actually, why am I thinking so much about it?
You realise that everything is only a version of something. So I mean, that's what I like about the remix, is it's kind of, it's harsh. It's quite harsh, it's quite kind of abrasive. I find it very difficult to do that.
To do what?
To make
harsh.
Yeah.
The album's pretty harsh.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty bloody harsh. And when you're making music, are you thinking visually at all or not?
I play DVDs while making music.
Okay, so what kind of things do you play?
Horror, science fiction, anything, anything that doesn't have a kind of a narrative that you have to pay any attention to.
So they're kind of becoming virtual sound. They are virtual soundtracks in a way.
Yeah. When I'm making music, I tend to have videos on. I quite often have YouTube stuff on as well. It's almost like I want to kind of stop myself from concentrating on things, because when I start concentrating, you start locking things up and having ideas, and I don't want to have ideas. I want to be surprised by what happens.
So going on to the live show, so how's that? I mean, that's a new. I mean, being concerned about. Okay, like for me, I never perform live. No. I've done it once, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. It doesn't interest me. Mainly because I'm scared to do it. But then for you to go from music and you're worried about what people think about the music, and now you're going, that's quite a thing going to a live show.
I like being scared.
Do you?
I kind of like that. I'd rather do something kind of that I find exciting and scary than something that's not very exciting and not scary.
And are you doing the same show every time you play, or is it improvised? So
it's always different.
That's great. Okay.
Well, mainly because I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't know how to do it the same.
Really?
No, because I think the thing is with, you know, playing live. I mean, I want to get something out of it. You know, I mean, I know I've only done it once, but I kind of, as I was playing, I was thinking, yeah, I understand this. I understand the thrill of this. I
think for me, I'm such a control freak as well. In terms of the studio, in terms of when I create music, where elements are, even though I'm having fun with it, it's so important that you can't. It's so hard to recreate that in a live situation. It's almost impossible. So I think playing, you know, the live experience is more about a communication. It's about having people there. You're feeling something from them, rather than, you know, and maybe that's something that doesn't interest me so much. I don't need to feel that from people.
Yeah. No, I think.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think I need it.